This is Lucky Links. One of the things people ask me all the time is, how do you connect with the spirit world? Why doesn't the spirit world talk directly to me? What's inhibiting my ability to talk to the spirit world? What is the secret to connecting with the spirit world? Well, I've got a whole bunch of videos that I'm going to be doing on this subject now, starting with the first one that's coming up right after this. When people attack you and your character or your looks or whatever it is, your response can inspire others. Fight over what the truth is. All right, good afternoon. This is Lucky Links. So I'm going to do this subject in a series of videos because it is one of the most, I think, sought after topics these days. How do you speak to spirits? There's all sorts of books written on it. There's all sorts of opinions on it. There's all sorts of do this and then you'll speak to the spirits, you'll speak to your guides, you'll speak to all this. Now listen, I'm gonna give you some practical advice here, and I think it's a little irresponsible to say, hey, just do this and then go talk to spirits. So it's not something that I necessarily do. It's not something I really do outside my classes. Okay, so like for example, in my crystal ball class, I showed my students how to connect to guides, and I show people in the tarot class how to connect to the spirit of the deck and stuff, but there are some things I think that I can share that you guys need to know if you're interested in doing this stuff, because I don't think people are talking about it, and I think the fact that people aren't talking about it is leaving people very confused. This is like when I started this channel and I said, okay, I'm going to do something on how to read a crystal ball, because no one was really talking about it. No one was really telling people like that got like, I don't know, like it's almost like 40,000 views, and people are like, oh my gosh, thank you. No one was talking about this. So I'm going to do the same thing here. Like I said, I'm going to do this in sections. I'm going to do this subject in sections, so because I'd like to stay focused. And I'm going to start with a quick story to illustrate the point. When in the 2000s, I was in the early 2000s, I was running something in northern Illinois called the North Star Psychic Gallery. So I had a gallery of psychics that we were doing it once a week, and people came, and I had a great many clients coming, and there was some people who were very, very helpful in getting the word out about what we were doing, and helped us get a lot of clients. And I wanted to do a thank you at the holidays, so like around Christmas time or like around the winter solstice. And so what I did was I trans-channeled for a whole bunch of people. So I had a big room full of people, and I trans-channeled for them all. During one of the spirits who came through announced himself as the Archangel Michael. Was not, and I knew he was not, because I worked with this being quite a bit, and I knew who he was. He was very helpful, and I very much appreciated his help for a lot of things in this life. I'm very grateful to that particular being, but I knew he wasn't the Archangel Michael. Now, people asked a lot of questions of this particular being, and he told them, and people were asking about the state of the world, what was coming in the world, everything, and it was kind of an interesting thing. But I remember being in there going, why did you tell them your name was, why did you tell him you were the Archangel Michael? Well, when it was done, a bunch of people came up and they were like, oh my God, that was amazing, thank you so much. And they wanted to talk about the process. And one of my most loyal clients, who was actually one of the people who helped bring a lot of people to the gallery, said to me, I didn't know what to expect on the way over here. And she said, if something showed up, I kept telling myself, if something showed up that's not an angel, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I knew exactly then why he had said what he said. Because there was a message that people were asking for, there were things that people needed to hear, there were several things in that she specifically needed to hear, or, and she would not have been receptive had it not come in the package that she wanted it to come in. So the focus of this particular video is your view of what the spirit should be, how they should come, what they should look like, inhibiting your ability to communicate in that sense. There is a real disservice, and I'm going to say it because I think this woman is atrocious for what she did. That Doreen Virtue woman, she's absolutely atrocious for what she did. She got people hooked on this fairy tale that she built. She built them for millions of dollars, then she kept their money, and then she told them, you're all going to hell. I think that's absolutely atrocious, and there is a contract that will come due for that one, I guarantee you. But I think there's something else that she did that was really atrocious, and that she promoted this idea of Harlequin romance covers as how a spirit would look and be. And I was actually joking with another psychic. She's a very good psychic. She's on Instagram. We talk all the time. I follow her, and she was using one of those oracles, which it had like Edgar Casey. It had like a picture of Edgar Casey like done as like some model, like some half-naked model. And if any of you actually know who Edgar Casey was and how he looked, it was like, I was like, wait, what? And she posted this as a daily throw, and I was like, that's not Edgar Casey. That's not even close to how Edgar Casey looked. And she's like, I know, I totally love this deck because they're all so hot and they get me all hot and bothered. It was very funny, and I get it. I get it. I mean, she had a total sense of humor about it. It doesn't take away from her ability. She's a really good psychic, and it doesn't take away her ability to interact with the spirit world either. But she preferred it in that. But so that's not what I'm talking about. If you know it's kind of a joke, like in that case, and you appreciate it. And like I've said in other videos, I've had a lot of friends over the years who were really talented psychic who use those angel decks, and they did very well with them. And you can read, same rules. Same rules apply. So they did great with them. What I'm saying is that for those people who maybe aren't naturally inclined, who think that they're going to talk to the spirit world and think that that's how they have to show up, or that they're going to be that kind of being, that you may be actually limiting your ability to interact with the spirit world by what you expect it to come as. So that's all that's really what this focus of this video is about. Check your expectations. Are you expecting it to come this way, this way, this way? Now see, that client of mine, she would have missed all that information that she needed if she said, well, it didn't come in the package of an 8. Now, if he wasn't savvy enough to do that, she would have missed the whole message. And it was something that was really important for her, and something in the long run that worked out very well for her. So there's this idea that they look like, they look out of, there's some male dancer Las Vegas review is how spirits come to you. And it's like, read the old stories, read the old fables, read the old fairy tales. I'm saying this all the time. Look at all the ways that spirits come. There are spirits of nature. There are different levels of spirits. And if you really want to know, if you really, because people are always asking, well, what kinds of spirits? Well, there's a book this thick. It's this thick that I have. It's in storage. It's called, I think it's called Gods and Demons of Tibet. And it talks about and the one thing the Tibetan Buddhists are great at is cataloging stuff. I swear they're all Virgos. They're really great at cataloging stuff. And there's this thick of all the different kinds of spirits than things that you can interact with, And when I first started doing this, I started trying to catalog all this, and my master's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Well, he's like, "Really?" He's like, maybe you should just start interacting and learn for your, and I'm like, okay, maybe that's a better idea. So the idea is that, but the point of that is that there's so many different kinds and ways that these beings show up. Are you limiting your ability to connect because of your ideal of what it should look like and what it should appear like? Your own expectations may be the thing that are preventing you from actually interacting with the spirit world. So that's the first piece, and that's what that's what this video is about. The focus of this video is about that. So check your expectations. Are your expectations limiting your ability to actually do the thing that you want to do? And for those of you who are interested in this subject, want to look at the rest of your life, maybe not interact with the spirit world, but maybe relationships, maybe work, all these things. Same thing, check your expectations. Are your expectations of the thing preventing you from actually being able to experience the thing for what it is, not for what you want it to be? So, tomorrow I'm going to be talking about another focus, and I'm going to spread this out over several videos because it's going to be way too much information if I just put it all in one video. So that's the first piece. If you're looking to interact with the spirit world and you can't, because people are always asking me, why can't I talk to the spirit world? Why won't it just talk to me? Why won't? Well, here's the first piece. Are your expectations? Are you expecting it to look like some Las Vegas male review dancer, and he's not coming that way? You know, how do you feel when people make expectations of you being something that you're not? And how do you feel when people expect you to be something that you're not? And how does it feel when they ignore you when you don't look or appear or interact the way that they think you should? Think about that. And it may teach you a lot about what's really going on in the spirit world. I'm Lucky Links, as always, wishing you success and good fortune in all that you do. If you guys would like to learn how to talk to the spirit in the tarot deck, then I have a basic class for you. Basic Tarot, it's starting in July, and I've already got people signed up. I am going to be approaching this in very practical, very straightforward ways. I'm teaching very practical, down-to-earth things that you can do every day to gain deeper and deeper understanding of the tarot and to get to be reading with it right away. I'm not a big believer in if you can't start using it right away, what's the point? And if you can't start using it in a practical way, what's the point? And those of you who have some experience but want to go deeper into the tarot, I've got an intermediate to advanced tarot class, and I have a class in how to read playing cards. I have a class in how to read crystal ball, which I actually do talk about spirit guides in that one. And then I have one in Mexican Loteria, how to read the Mexican Loteria, and then two in Lenormand, one in Basic Lenormand and one in Grand Tableau. If you are in the Bay Area, would like some hypnosis, 779-302-8009 or conjurehope@gmail.com. And if you would like to get a reading from me, I heartily encourage you to do that, 779-302-8009 or conjurehope@gmail.com. We'll set something up. I have some openings later this week. I have been, since I've changed the way I've been approaching these videos, I have exploded with clients and students, which is a great thing because I love that. And for those of you who've donated, thank you so very much for the generous donations, the amazingly generous donations. If you like these videos, you're getting something out of these videos, and you'd like to donate to help keep them coming, and please, I'm putting the PayPal or the Venmo down below. Now, you go out there and you ask yourself, hey, what's my expectation of the spirit world? And is it actually interfering with my ability to see it, interact with it, or connect with it in any kind of meaningful way?